Also have with us Akshay Dongre, who's joining us straight from New Delhi outside the Bangladesh High Commission. Good afternoon, Akshay. What is the latest that you're tracking? How is the protest unfolding outside the High Commission office there?
Well, the protest is now over, Deepika. The protesters have just moved, about 10 to 15 minutes back from the protest site. But what we can show you right now is the kind of security arrangement that is still here. That has also thinned down quite significantly in the last 20 minutes because the cops have also moved from the position to back to their police stations and their designated areas. But still, you can see some checking here going on right outside the Bangladesh High Commission. Some Central Armed Police Forces along with the Delhi Police that's manning the barricades that have been set up here. Some water cannons that were brought to deter the protesters who had gathered here since the morning. Certain buses that you see are of also the Delhi Police that were brought in large numbers to prevent the protesters from getting too close to the Bangladeshi High Commission, because unlike Bangladesh, India still respects the norms of the regulations of the Geneva Convention, which dictates the host country to ensure the protection of the high commissions and the embassies at all cost. And that's sort of the difference that we are seeing in the Yunus regime right now in a democratic government like India. But still tensions are high as far as the lynching and the murder of Dipu Das is concerned in Bangladesh. And as far as the failed policies of the Bangladesh government is concerned, it is but natural to deflect that sort of anger that is there in the Bangladeshi youth of unemployment, of rising inflation, of joblessness, of the sort of rising communal hatred and find a scapegoat. And in this instance, they have found a scapegoat in India, blaming all the wrong that is happening in the country, staking communal violence, and we are seeing the situation escalate in the country. And while there were protests here as well, there was no kind of violence, there was no kind of, attacks at the High Commission. People were asking questions and raising slogans of Bharat Mata Ki Jai. They were asking, for victims to be protected, for innocent people to be protected in the country, Bangladesh, a country that was formed with the help of India when the Indian armed forces, in fact, forced the Pakistani army to surrender. And only it is because of the contribution of our country that Bangladesh came into existence in 1971. But it seems that the people who are in power right now in Bangladesh, working perhaps on the payrolls of the ISI or the Pakistani establishment, have forgotten their goals and are now trying to cut the very hand of alliance that it had with India after the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. But let's hope that good sense prevails in Bangladeshi regime as well. But as far as talking about this protest, it has thinned down. But there are threats of these protesters that they will come back again to the Bangladesh High Commission and stage more protests if the violence against the minorities doesn't stop in Bangladesh.
All right, thank you so much, Akshay.